Did you know that in 1972, North Vietnam launched one of the largest offensives of the entire war? A surprise attack so massive it nearly shattered South Vietnam in a matter of days? It was called the Easter Offensive, and it hit like a freight train loaded with tanks, rockets, and sheer force of will. Unlike earlier battles fought in the jungle with hit-and-run tactics, this offensive was different. North Vietnam rolled across the border with 14 divisions, backed by Soviet tanks and heavy artillery. A full-scale conventional invasion designed to collapse South Vietnam before America could stop it. And they attacked on three fronts at once. First came Quang Tri in the north. RVN forces suddenly faced hundreds of tanks and thousands of troops, smashing through the DMZ. The city fell fast, the only provincial capital South Vietnam lost during the war. But the fight didn't end there. ARVN Marines counterattacked for months, inch by bloody inch, until they finally retook the citadel in one of the war's most brutal urban battles. Then the offensive shifted west to the Central Highlands, Kon Tum. This was the hinge of South Vietnam, the place where losing meant the whole country could split in half. NVA armor thundered toward the city, blasting through outposts, overrunning defenses, but ARVN Rangers and airborne units dug in and refused to budge. U.S. air power tore tank columns apart. Kon Tum held and barely, and its survival kept South Vietnam from collapsing like a house of cards. And then came the most desperate fight of them all, An Loc. The NVA surrounded the city, cut off every road, and bombarded it non-stop for months. Civilians hid in basements. Soldiers fought block to block. RVN commanders radioed that they were out of ammo, out of water, and almost out of men. Resupply could only come by air, and half the planes were shot down trying. But somehow the defenders held. Against tanks, rockets, starvation, and no chance of escape. They never broke. By the end, the Easter Offensive failed to topple South Vietnam, but it changed everything. South Vietnam learned it could fight without massive American ground support. The North learned it could launch conventional invasions and survive U.S. air power, and Washington learned its Vietnamization plan was held together with duct tape and prayer. The Easter Offensive wasn't at the end of the war, but it was the moment everyone realized the final showdown was coming. If you enjoyed this trip down the rabbit hole, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Smart History for Dumb Times.